What's up, everybody? This is episode 5 of Ball Sports. Thank you for tuning in again. I'm your host, Brandon. Um, Today I got the NBA Finals topic for the most part. I'll just be discussing that, and then I got some topics I hope to get some feedback in the comment section. We'll start out with Game 3 since I covered Game 1 and 2 in my last YouTube episode if you didn't check that out. We'll start out with Game 3 though. The Raptors won 123 to 109. Really good game by Kawhi. Him and Steph really went at it. Steph had 47 points. That was the highest put up in a losing effort in the NBA Finals. So it was definitely good to see that Steph can still score at a high rate like that, especially with nobody else really helping him out throughout the whole game. Klay Thompson was out, and he stepped up and made sure that the Warriors could make a game of it despite the scoreboard. It was a really close game. We got the Raptors shot 20 from 21 from the free throw line, and they shot 52% from the field, so it shows you why they won the game. They shot consistent from everywhere that they were at, and that translated to a victory. We got Game 4 starting up 105 to 92. The Raptors ended up taking that. Curry ended up dropping 27. Thompson came back and had 28. Draymond 10, 9, and 12. The Warriors shot 95% from the free throw line despite a losing effort. Kawhi once again had a standout performance with 36, 12, and 2. He's been a dominant factor throughout the series and throughout the NBA playoffs. Kawhi's turned out to be quite the NBA superstar. Game 5, we'll move on. The Warriors actually won. It was last night. They won 106 to 105. I watched the whole thing. Curry had 31, 8, and 7. Curry did his thing once again. Looked like Kawhi at the end of the game was going to be able to close it out for the Raptors, but it didn't end up happening like that. He ended up passing it to Fred VanVleet, and then he ended up passing it to Kyle Lowry, who took the game when he shot. That was ended up being tipped by Draymond Green, and which is why it was off. Throughout the course of Game 5, the Warriors shot 20 from 42 from three-point range, so that shows you they were hitting a good amount of three-pointers, and it kept them in the game. They live or die by the three. The Raptors, on the other hand, had 54 points in the paint compared to the Warriors only 20 points in the paint. Raptors were dominant in the paint that game. That shows you what's going on right there and how this series has turned out to be a quite interesting series. I can't wait to see the end of it. KD took an injury at the end of the game. Never good to see nobody get injured. Wish the best for him in his recovery. I'm pretty sure he tore that Achilles. Achilles tear is usually about a year. And then you got to get on the court and start to get the feel for the game a little bit more, and it'll start to come back to you more. So he'll probably be down, I'm saying a year, 5 months or something like that. So the NBA dramatically changed last night, whether you realize it or not. KD being out of the NBA for a while is definitely going to switch stuff up for everybody, and definitely change the way the NBA is right now. And it will be questionable to see his free agency move coming off of an injury. Teams down 3-1 in the finals are only 33-1, with LeBron winning in the 2016 finals. They don't have a good record coming back from a 3-1 deficit, which is what the Warriors are facing against the Raptors right now. And with KD tearing that Achilles, it's really not looking good for the Warriors. They might face their first finals loss since LeBron back then. I got some stuff right here. This looks like the end of the Golden State era. With Klay Thompson coming up to be a free agent. We got Kevin Durant looking to make his move. I think Draymond comes up to be a free agent next year. So we're going to slowly start to see the end of the super team, and it's slowly going to start to fade away. And we'll see it somewhere else for sure. I'm sure everybody else will group up at another team and make a super team somewhere else. I got some topics that I want some feedback on. My first one is, does Melo deserve to be in the NBA? My answer to that is yes. I think Melo deserves another shot in the NBA. Melo was successful for a long time. And I do feel like in the right system, Melo could definitely be a factor. He's still a great mid-range and spot-up shooter. He's a great catch and shoot. And there's a lot of people who don't have as good as a shooting skill that are in the league right now as Melo. The next one, where do I see the OKC Thunder next year? I think we get better through free agency. I don't think we sign a big free agent. I don't think we trade for nobody major or anything like that. I think we get some key assets this year for a low price, like Nerlens Noel last year, how we picked him up. I definitely think that we will get better through free agency, and we will kind of change the way our game is played, and hopefully Westbrook and Paul George can mesh just as good and get us deeper into the playoffs next year. But I think we get better through free agency. We'll speak on the Pacers and Colts. Does everyone like the direction of the Pacers and Colts? My answer is sort of. The inconsistency with having star players and treating them right, and bringing star players with other star players is what concerns me about Indy. I love to go watch the games, but they're inconsistent with paying their star players and getting help around them, and that's not a good recipe. The Seahawks. We got the Seahawks. The Seahawks made Russell Wilson the highest paid football player this year. We should be heading towards better days. We got bounced in the first round of the playoffs this year. We drafted DK Metcalf. Chris Carson's coming back off his injury. We got KJ Wright and Bobby Wagner that is still there. So I expect my Seahawks to make a little bit more noise than last year. My surprise team is the Ravens. Watch out for the Ravens. I feel like they're going to be a really good team this year. I went to a preseason game and I watched how Lamar Jackson plays. I'm a huge fan of Lamar Jackson, and I think the Ravens, with him starting, will definitely be able to make some moves this year. So that'll be interesting to see. Ravens are definitely somebody that you need to look out for. To end it, about the finals, I don't know where this series ends up, honestly. In my previous videos, I said that Golden State wins it in 6, and it's obvious I was wrong. So we'll have to see the end of that. I'd love to see the Raptors win. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But would I love to see the Raptors win? Yes. So, give me some feedback, guys. Let me know what you think about the finals. Let me know what you think about what I said about the Pacers and Colts. Does Melo deserve to be on an NBA team? How'd you feel about the finals and everything going on? You feel like the NBA is going in the right direction as far as all the fouls they're calling, the relationships with players and the contracts and things like that? I'd like to get some feedback in the comments. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'll be back next week too. Enjoy.